Hey guys, Marmalada here. This is my first guide for PoE2. I experimented with lots of builds for Blood Mage. I played Hexblast, which was okay, but boss damage was mediocre. I also tried some elemental builds. Map clear was decent, but boss damage was terrible. Let's start with skill gems. So for AoE clear we are using Bone Blast. Bone Blast is a wand skill, and the main benefit is that it costs 0 mana. And for Blood Mage it also means it costs 0 life. Because as Blood Mage, if you cast something that costs mana, it will also cost you the same amount of life. Which is a huge disadvantage actually. But with Bone Blast you don't have to care about that, it's completely free. As support gems we are using Magnified Effect, Fast Forward, Spell Cascade and Arcane Tempo. For boss fights we are using Bone Storm. At the moment I have 153,000 DPS, but it's actually bugged, it would be much more. For support gems we are using Brutality. With Brutality be careful because you will deal no elemental or no chaos damage. So if you have, for example, some extra fire damage on your wand, it will not work. Then we have Inspiration to reduce the cost. Consider Casting for extra DPS. Scattershot. Scattershot will give you 2 extra projectile per stage of channeling. So basically you get to maximum much faster. Without Scattershot it just takes forever. It looks like without it the DPS is higher, but that's not correct. And the last is Physical Mastery for just extra damage. I was experimenting with Cast on Critical, but we have almost 100% crit chance, and it doesn't work, because once I hit the boss, it will completely kill my mana and my HP. So yeah, in this setup we cannot work cast on critical. We have almost no mana regen, and yeah, it just wouldn't work. So for spirit, I am using blasphemy. I am running vulnerability to reduce the enemy's armor, and then we have ritualistic curse to make it bigger AoE. The second use of spirit is in Grimfeast. So yeah, I'm running cannibalism to get some life back, and Grimfeast is super nice because we have almost 10,000 effective HP when we are running maps due to life revenants and Grimfeast. For boss fights, I'm also using soul offering. So basically, as you are running to the boss, you sacrifice your skeletons, and it will give you a lot of extra DPS, 257,000 DPS. It's only for a few seconds, but yeah, it's good for 1 or 2 casts of Bone Storm. To use soul offering, you need to have a scepter, and you want to set it as a second weapon set. And then the Bone Storm will be just first weapon set. So it automatically switches to the first one. Alright, let's talk about items. Let's start with wand. So you definitely need +5 physical spell skills on your wand, a lot of crit hit chance, and a lot of spell damage. This wand was about 1 divine, maybe 2. You definitely need a wand with Bone Blast. I was looking for level 19 Bone Blast, but they are pretty rare and yeah, super expensive. You definitely need this Unique Helm. So because we are Blood Mage, we need a lot of HP. I have almost 3k, and this helmet gives you a lot of energy shield based on your HP, based on your life. So yeah, without this helmet, basically my energy shield goes to 50%. For focus, I have this one, +2 level to all spells, a lot of crit, a lot of spell damage, and it also has chaos damage, but I just couldn't find anything better, so I keep this one. For amulet, I allocated heavy ammunition, which is damage for projectiles, because Bone Storm is projectile spell. And then +3 to all spells, some HP, some strength, and critical damage bonus. For rings, you want cast speed, life. That's basically all. For all of the pieces, you need a lot of life. For boots, again, resistances, life, 35% move speed. That's nice. Belt is quite basic. Again, a lot of life, some strength, and resistances. For gloves, get gloves with critical damage bonus if you can find them. And again, resistances and a lot of life. For chest, this one has 600 energy shield, which is quite nice. I know you can get maybe up to 1000, but they are too expensive. This chest was 1 divine. So resistance is a lot of life and energy shield. All my items combined are about 15 divines maximum, maybe even less. So this setup is not really expensive. You can run it for quite cheap. If you want to run it right now, you can just buy all items maybe for 10 divines, and just yeah, you can kill everything in the game. Passives. So for Blood Mage 3, I took Gore Spike, and then Blood Bars for extra damage, and then Gasping Wounds. I was also going before for Grimstone Power, and I was skipping Blood Barbs, but I felt like my survivability is high enough, so I just went for extra 10% damage. Now for the tree, I go up here, I took everything that increased my damage, and then I went up here to get those physical damage nodes. I also took sudden escalation. I went up here to get this big energy shield node. Temperate mind is also very important. Also those big crit nodes. And then I went here, which is quite different from other builds that I saw. So we are taking Stylebender, and then I went down here to get this Staggering Palm, Shatter Palm, and Kite Runner. And this is a lot of damage for Bloodstorm. This all increased physical damage and also stun build-up, which is very important against bosses. For Jewels, I bought some expensive Jewels. So this is +2 to Bloodstorm. This is like 3 Divine. And then I had one more extra Jewel. This is this one, where I allocated Ricochet and Battle Fever. So we have heavy ammunition on the amulet, then we have Ricochet, that's some extra projectile damage, and some chance that they will chain from terrain, and then we have Battle Fever, which is increased cast speed and physical damage. For small Javelins you just want crit damage, crit chance, and spell damage if possible. They're not expensive. You don't need anything special on that. I quite enjoyed playing this build, especially the boss fights. So if you like to kill bosses, this build will be super nice for you. So this is really for people that are not happy with Spark, because Spark is everywhere, and if you want to try something new, I would really recommend playing this kind of build. Alright guys, that's all for the build guide and for the video. If you like it, yeah, you can support me with subscribing or liking the video, and there are more builds coming in the future. Thank you. Goodbye.